Hello, Grots and Gits. We did it. The day of red has come. So this is the Angelic Inheritors, the Grotmus Detachment for the Blood Angels. I've been looking forward to this one all freaking month, and I'm really excited to read it. So I have done a cursory overview of it, but we're going to go through it together right now. I am tentatively quite excited about it. I don't think it beats out Lag, Liberator Assault Group, but it is quite an interesting detachment that's going to give us some serious options to play. I wonder if it's going to get me as excited as the Tactical Detachment did for Orcs, because Tactical Brigade is so good. So I'm not necessarily banking on that, but let's start diving into what the freaking Blood Angels are going to be giving up for us today. All right. Detachment rule. Legacy of the Angel. At the start of the first battle round, select 2 of the angelic legacy abilities listed below. Now, until the end of the battle, so this is you select this once thing. It's not a command phase thing, right? So you don't get to change these. Until the end of the battle, those angelic legacy abilities are active and their effects apply to all Adeptus Astartes character units from your army. That's very important. The first ability that you could choose, and you get to choose 2 of these, Sanguinary Grace. This unit is eligible to shoot and declare charge in a turn in which it fell back. Fallback and charge is great for Blood Angels. Fallback, shoot, and charge is kind of interesting. I struggle to think like which units want to fallback, shoot, and charge, but there can be times where that can be useful. Or I'm sorry, where many Blood Angel units want to fall back and shoot. They definitely always want to fall back and charge. Carmine Wrath. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1 and reroll a wound roll of 1. Cool. So you're going to get reroll hit rolls of 1, reroll wound rolls of 1 for all of your character units. This is actually really good, and it is a huge buff, especially to units like your Sanguinary Guard who just hit on 3s naturally. So this detachment might be encouraging us to run Sangard perhaps without Dante. I'm not sure. We need to read forth a little bit more. Then we have Their Appointed Hour. You can reroll advance and charge rolls made for this unit. Advance and charge, everyone likes to, well, I don't know if we have advance charge. We'll have to get to the strats to read that. But if you can reroll advance rolls and reroll charge rolls, that's great. Rerolling charge is a very strong ability. It gives you a huge increase in the amount of reliability that your units actually have. Restrictions. Your army can include Blood Angels units, but it cannot include Adeptus Astartes units drawn from any other chapter. So you can't run this detachment with Ultramarine characters, for example. All right. Prescient Flash for 20 points is going to be the first enhancement we read. Adeptus Astartes model only. Models in the bearer's unit have Scout's 6 ability. This is strong. This is actually very strong. It does quite a bit of work. Basically what it means is it guarantees that you can have, I don't know, a unit of Sanguinary Guard with a captain perhaps that's leading them. They get to move 6 inches, then they get to move 12 inches. They have a guaranteed 18-inch move turn 1, and then reroll charges. This is actually quite threatening. I think this can cause problems for people. Then we have Troubling Visions for 15 points. An Adeptus Astartes model. Once per battle in your command phase, the bearer can use this enhancement, and when it does, until the start of your next command phase, all angelic legacy abilities are active for the bearer's unit instead of only 2 of them. This could be useful for 15 points. Effectively, it's giving you like a stratagem's worth ability, more or less, right? So I think if you have 15 points, this is something that we might take. It can be very useful just for 1 turn to give the unit that needs it fall back and charge. It can be really useful for 1 turn to give the unit reroll hits and wounds rolls of 1, or I think it can be quite valuable. But it's not something I think you're ever going to be really building a army around. Let's read about the Blazing Icon for 20 points. Adeptus Astartes infantry model only. Enemy units cannot use fire Overwatch to shoot the bearer's unit. That's not bad. That's really not bad. One of the worst things in existence is to be trying to charge your Sanguinary Guard and a Forge Fiend overwatches you and kills your entire Sanguinary Guard unit. It is a horrible feeling, and yes, it has happened to me. Then we have Ordained Sacrifice for 25 points. Adeptus Astartes model only. The first time the bearer is destroyed, roll a d6 at the end of the phase. On a 2-up, set the bearer back up on the battlefield as close as possible to where it was destroyed and not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units with 3 wounds remaining. I don't really know where you put this. Maybe on a lieutenant with combi weapon. I just don't really know where I put this, to be honest with you. It seems useful. I just can't really think of a character I would want this on. But anyway, maybe if you're running like a Gravis captain, I can see that maybe on a Gravis captain. So if you're running a Terminator captain or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Anyway, strats. The first strat, Armor Contempt. Boring. Got it. Armor Contempt sucks now. Sorry. Then we have Strike Now for Glory. your shooting phase, one Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot until the end of the phase, sustained hits 1. This is cool. All right, so they could just get sustained hits 1 on any unit. So we know right off the bat that this is a detachment that's encouraging you to not go all in on melee, and it wants you to be able to like switch in and out of things that you want to do. Would have loved this if this was your shooting and your fight phase, but as it's just your shooting phase, maybe it makes a Vindicator that's using your Oath target pretty good. I'm not sure. Certainly useful. Certainly useful. It's giving us an indication of what they want us to build with this detachment. And then we have Focused Fury for 1 CP. This is in the fight phase. 1 Adeptus Astartes unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons get lethal. All right, so 1 CP lethal hits. We have that in another detachment. It works. We like it. Then if your unit is a character unit, they also have Lance. So lethal and Lance, because you're pretty much always going to be using this with your character units, I think. Great. We love it. 1 CP lethal and Lance. Much better than what we have in Liberated Assault Group, where it's lethal or Lance, or both if you choose to get Battle Shocks. Solid strat. In the Shadow of Great Wings, your opponent's shooting phase just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. 1 Adeptus Astartes character unit from your army that was selected as the target of one or more of the attacking unit's attacks. 18-inch loan up. This can be exceptionally clutch and valuable. Sometimes you're going to be visible and you're like, there's nothing I could do. I couldn't position any differently. And now suddenly your Sanguinary Guard unit doesn't just die because you were visible by 1 Forge Fiend. This can be extremely powerful. It can be very, 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 very valuable. All right. Then we have Instance of Grace. Oh, you know what? That also very good against the indirect meta. So like if you're trying to get hammered by whirlwinds, say they oath you. That's a really good stratagem, actually. Yep, never mind. I like that a lot. Super powerful in Shadow of Great Wings. Love it. Moving on, Instant of Grace. Your command phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry unit from your army. Select 1 non-character model in your unit, and until the start of your next command phase, your model has the character keyword. Now, this is really lame. I don't like this. I understand why it's here. It's going to give some play. It's going to allow you to benefit the detachment rules to one of your units. But it's like, man, it just feels like a swing and a miss now. It feels like we're kind of down by 2 stratagems on this detachment because Armor Contempt, it got such a heavy nerf in the Lost Balance status late. I really feel like it's almost a wasted strat to have. Then Instant of Grace, like the strat just literally lets a unit use your detachment rule. That doesn't feel super good to me. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing here. Okay. Then lastly, we have Unto the Burning Skies. And if your opponent's fight phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes jump pack unit from your army. You cannot target a unit that is within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units unless it is the Sanguinor. Remove your unit from the battle and place it into reserves. Now, I know what everyone's thinking. They're thinking, oh, this is busted. The Sanguinor can do his trick 1,000,000 times a game. No, the Sanguinor cannot do his trick 1,000,000 times a game because the Sanguinor's ability to come down in your opponent's charge phase is once per battle. So even though, yes, you will be able to pick him up, and this is valuable, that doesn't mean, and I'm not saying this is bad, this is good. Uppy downy is just generally good. It does in fact mean that you're not going to, it's not busted. The Sanguinor can't use this thing every single turn. So just relax, breathe. Overall, what am I thinking? I think this is cool. And there is play here. It's not better. I don't think it's better than Liberated Assault Group. I'm probably sticking Liberated Assault Group. I think it is definitely a lot better than the Death Company specific detachment, the Lost Brethren, and it's probably better than Angelic Host. Angelic Host simply needing Sanguinary Guard to be cheaper than they are. So this is either our number 2 or number 3 detachment, and I like it. There's going to be some interesting things we can do here. I am very fascinated to have an army that is not Oath reliant. Just being able to reroll hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1 seriously improves what your Sanguinary Guard can do. Losing the extra attack and the strength bonus is problematic, but if they're rerolling hit rolls of 1 and wound rolls of 1, I think that is probably basically making up for the +1 attack and +2 strength. And you still have access to lethal and lance. So I think it's good, man. I think this detachment is actually quite solid. And I'm really interested to cook around with it. I'm not sure how it's going to look, though. The sustained hits only applying in the shooting phase is a little bit weak. Just like every other army that has things like this, you would think that would apply both in shooting or fight phase. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm probably bitching a little bit because this is my army and I tell other people to stop bitching. So I'm going to stop bitching. I like it. This is cool rules. I'm excited to start cooking with it. I'll be back when I have some good stuff for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I want to hear your build ideas for what you're thinking with the new Blood Angels as well. I've already given you a few of my thoughts. I'll be back with a lot more, I promise. Until next time, crop on, baby.